A somber commander-in-chief trying to comfort as best anyone could bereaved families of 248 United States soldiers killed suddenly only hours from their loved ones. Good evening. This is the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. In the experiment that is America, a president, any president, is many men: head of state, head of government, commander-in-chief, and on days such as this, comforter and head of the nation family. The place today was a cavernous hangar at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, home of brave airborne warriors. The scene, a memorial service for peacekeepers killed in that still stunning Canadian plane crash. Leslie Stahl reports from Kentucky.
Mr. Reagan went to Fort Campbell in the name of the American people to mourn and share the sadness. He came to offer comfort to the families of the 248 soldiers killed on their way home for Christmas, and to wonder, as he put it, how could this be?
I know that there are no words that can make your pain less or make your sorrow less painful. Oh, I wish there were. But of one thing we can be sure. As a poet said of other young soldiers in another war, they will never grow old. They will always be young.
President and Mrs. Reagan spent about an hour talking with each and every family member here, an estimated 350, a personal tribute to the men and women who died in Thursday's plane crash. Their unit, the 101st Airborne Division, known as the Screaming Eagles, whose motto is, "We have a rendezvous with destiny." Leslie Stahl, CBS News, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Even today, 5 days after it happened, the cause of that crash remains undetermined. While there are no answers, Peter Van Sant reports there are some clues to what happened to take so many young American lives.
The first bodies of the servicemen killed in the Gander Aero Air crash began arriving late this afternoon at Dover Air Force Base. Experts will attempt to identify the bodies and see if their condition reveals any clue as to what may have caused the accident. At the crash site, investigators have removed critical aircraft parts for examination, including the DC-8's 4 engines. After studying the flight data recorder, Canadian officials this morning said the jet had more than enough speed to take off.
During the takeoff, the aircraft reached a peak speed of about 165 knots. After it attained that speed, it began to decrease.
Aviation experts say today's information bolsters speculation that ice had formed on the jet's wings, making it unable to fly. The pilot chose not to have the plane de-iced. Experts say as any jet gains takeoff speed, a cushion of air likely develops beneath it. This so-called ground effect helps boost even an ice-coated plane, allowing it to climb about 100 feet until it rises above the cushion and falls. Jeffrey Scott Key was one of the soldiers killed in the crash. Key had sent an audio tape to his fiancée, saying he was worried about flying on another Aero Air charter.
I hope the plane gets back all right, but then the plane we fly on is really bad. Not too good, you know.
Key also said that old Uncle Sam would get them back. Investigators now confirm that the same Aero DC-8 that crashed in Newfoundland had been involved in 2 other incidents. Last month, the plane scraped its tail and had to abort takeoff. In July, another incident. One of the jet's engines flamed out on takeoff. Canadian officials say it may be 2 months before the exact cause of the Aero Air crash is known. Peter Van Sant, CBS News, New York.
Whatever the cause of the Aero air crash, whatever it turns out to be, it has already raised the question, why does the Army and the Air Force, with all of those owned and operated U.S. military planes taxpayers have bought and maintained, why are the Army and Air Force paying charter air companies to transport U.S. servicemen and women in the first place? What goes on here? Lim Tucker has been checking.
I am ashamed of the United States for sending such sorry plane to pick up 258 or 56, whatever, I don't remember, boys to bring them back.
Margaret Ford lost her grandson, Jeff Key, on that Arrow jetliner. The public might wonder why the military planes often seen sitting at airfields aren't used to carry all troops. The Air Force says its planes are, despite appearances, being used to the maximum. So last year, for example, the Defense Department chartered 2,000 planes, some from major airlines, at a cost of almost $500 million.
It would be not cost-effective at all for us to buy a fleet of commercial airplanes that already exist in a commercial world, just to fly our passengers.
Some members of Congress are now questioning this system.
We've poured billions of dollars into expanding the air fleet for the military. And it puzzles me that they can't find adequate aircraft to fly their own personnel home from overseas assignments.
The charter companies are chosen from a list of Federal Aviation Administration approved air carriers, and they have pledged part of their fleet to the government in times of emergencies or war. In turn, the government assures them charter business during non-emergencies. A good arrangement, says the Pentagon.
We intend in peace or in war to move about 95% of our people on commercial airplanes. We need them.
As members of the multinational peacekeeping force mourned at their post in the Sinai, military officials pointed out that the last fatal military charter accident was 15 years ago. Lem Tucker, CBS News, Washington.
Break free and feel how splendid you are with Vanderbilt, the rich romantic fragrance by Gloria Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, let it release the splendor of you. Vanderbilt.
In Greece, gifts are exchanged on St. Basil's Day. In Venezuela, on the Feast of the Epiphany. In fact, the world has almost as many days for giving as there are gifts. Yet millions of people give the same thing, a Pulsar. The fine watch whose extraordinary appeal makes Pulsar as perfect for Christmas as it is for Kakumisak. Pulsar, the world knows a great watch when it sees one.
A Supreme Court decision today about rules of the road and the rule of law. The justices refused to give motorists stopped on suspicion of driving drunk the right to talk to a lawyer before deciding whether to submit to a breath test. A two-truck collision on a Southern California freeway lit up the night with a ring of fire around a Ferris wheel truck and a big fuel tanker truck. It took 17 Los Angeles firefighting units and a lot of foam to finally put it out. One truck driver was hurt. In story and in song, the truck driver has become a 20th century cult hero, a sort of cowboy on wheels, going his own way while picking it up here and delivering it there. But the reality of the road can be quite different for the trucker and for drivers who must share the road with all these rigs. For his commentary tonight, Bill Moyers looks at what it really takes to keep on trucking, how slamming the brakes on years of trucking regulation from Washington may mean wheels of misfortune on roads all across the land today.
Come on. What the hell are they doing? I guess I'm just going to keep it going. Just keep right on going, and they'll find something wrong with your rig. Hear that?
It's 8 a.m. in Barstow, California, and the warning has already traveled 100 miles by CB radio. Steer clear of Route 40. The Highway Patrol is lying in wait to inspect trucks for safety hazards. and drivers with problem trucks are steering for alternate routes.
Gonna catch you big bad truck drivers, that's what they're gonna do.
Okay, do you get your driver's license and medical card handy there?
Major truck accidents have increased sharply, up 18% in just the last year. And state inspections like this one are turning up more and more hazards in every kind of truck.
Dean, by the way, this is PCBs, so don't stick your hand in anything that's wet.
Of the nearly 600 trucks inspected on this day, 40% were found to be imminent hazards and ordered off the road. The most common defect, faulty brakes.
Steering axle, right side, left side, inoperative.
The steer axles are inoperative. They're not even moving. Looks like they've been plugged off.
The front axle brakes on this truck are not working, a common finding. But that's not all that's wrong with it.
So we got a grand total of 6 out of 10 brakes that aren't working properly.
This truck is carrying a dangerous toxic chemical, yet more than half its brakes might not work in an emergency. It was ordered off the road for repairs, but many more like it roll down our highways night and day.
Here's a thought for you the next time you're driving down the highway in your new compact, sitting there comfortably behind the wheel, thinking all is well with the world. When you look in the rearview mirror and see one of those big trucks bearing down on you, remember this. You're watching a test to determine the safety of a truck's brakes. This is a brand new truck traveling 55 miles per hour with an empty trailer. But as with a lot of trucks out there, the driver has disconnected the front brakes, claiming it gives him more control. The truck skid 260 feet before it came to a stop. Most trucks on the road, experts say, would probably do worse.
I think it's fair to say that over half the trucks on the highway right now have defective brakes of one form or another.
Over half?
Over half.
These truckers will tell you the reason is economic. The deregulation of the industry has increased competition, but more trucks are hauling less freight over longer distances and earning less money.
I averaged out last month what I made, and I divided it by how many hours I got, and I think I averaged 75 cents an hour is what I made for myself.
To cut costs in the face of cutthroat competition, some drivers are spending more time behind the wheel without sleep or rest and are cutting corners on safety.
You're going to put a recap tire on it.
I've got to go to recap because I cannot afford my new tire.
Aren't you taking risk with your life?
I'm taking a risk. What choice do I have? I have to do that or lose my truck, my home, and go broke.
Truck driving has become one of the most dangerous jobs in America. Washington, D.C., a tractor trailer loses its brakes, hitting 6 cars. The driver is killed. Van Buren, Arkansas, a truck cited for defective brakes in 4 states smashes into a station wagon. 9 dead, including 3 children. Globe, Arizona, a runaway semi hauling 2 trailers loses its brakes on a mountain road. 4 are killed. Kalamazoo, Michigan, just 11 days ago, a truck loaded with steel rams a school bus. 4 children die, 21 are injured.
And yet these truckers have a problem, don't they? I mean, they're in it for a living, their profit margin is small. It's a kind of catch-22.
It's a vicious cycle, and I don't know how we're going to end it without some more regulations. I mean, we cannot deregulate everything and let safety be handled by the marketplace, because clearly the marketplace is not serving us well in this case.
It seemed a good idea at the time to deregulate trucking and increase economic competition. Let the market do it. But some things the market can't or won't do, and its failure has to be reckoned now in human life and injury. That price is rising steadily for the drivers of these big rigs and for all of us who share the road with them. I'm Bill Moyers.
Betty Dorfman before the Nikon One Touch. Betty after the Nikon One Touch. The Parfit family before the Nikon One Touch. The Parfit family after. Mr. Dennis Pinkstaff before. Mr. Pinkstaff after.
This is great.
The new autofocus autoflash Nikon One Touch. It's so easy to use, it's given thousands of people something they've always wanted.
Oh, the baby's a week old. Got any pictures?
Pictures they can be proud of.
Sinus congestion.
I can breathe again.
Ah, the sweet smell of success. Get it with 12-hour Nostrella and Nostro with the one-way spray pump. It delivers a measured dose of penetrating mist every time. Squeeze sprays don't. You can't buy more effective sinus medicine. Ah, the sweet smell of success. Only 12-hour Nostrella and Nostro regular or mild have the one-way pump. It's the most advanced relief you can give your nose.
Success.
So far tonight, it's still no dice, no deal for what President Reagan has called his #1 program priority, tax overhaul. As Phil Jones reports, the president made a belated and rare personal visit to Congress today in a last-ditch effort to win over enough of his toughest tax overhaul critics, House Republicans.
It was the riskiest trip Ronald Reagan has made to Capitol Hill in his presidency, placing his personal prestige and future clout with Congress on the line to save tax reform from a GOP revolt. And he left without any promises from his own Republican leaders that they would save him. It was described as a raucous caucus, although after nearly an hour behind closed doors with House Republicans, the president appeared in good spirits.
Did you rescue tax reform?
Just having a Christmas party.
I will do everything within my power to make certain that the Rostenkowski bill is absolutely dead. I know that I've won the first battle. It doesn't mean that we have won the war, and I'm going to try to make sure that we win the war.
One Republican leader came out still ready to fight the president. However, others tried to be low-key and deny suggestions that the president had lost.
He didn't go back to the White House empty-handed. He went back with a lot of information about the concerns that we have.
But it appears tax reform is still in trouble. CBS News has been told the president picked up votes, but not the 50 Republicans that Democrats are demanding to bring it back to the House floor.
Mr. President, if you have any magic left in your bag of tricks, use it today.
I can't believe that he can pass an MX bill, change policy with regards to Central America, without being able to get this bill. I just can't believe it.
The president has traveled thousands of miles trying to go over a reluctant Congress and sell tax reform to the voters. But it didn't seem to catch, and that is why members obviously feel free to oppose him in this showdown. Tonight, White House officials claim they're within striking distance, but both sides are also preparing to blame each other if it falls through. Phil Jones, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
As part of the congressional chaos before getting out of town for the holidays, House and Senate negotiators agreed on a $370 billion bill to pay for many federal agencies for the rest of the fiscal year. But not before the congressmen voted themselves a little stocking stuffer. They voted today to let senators earn an extra $7,500 a year in speaking fees. They also opened the door to possible future congressional pay hikes. In Glenwood Springs, Colorado today, Glenwood Springs. At least one person died, at least 10 are unaccounted for, 13 were injured in a propane gas explosion. Authorities said some 30 people were working at the Rocky Mountain Natural Gas Company when the blast occurred.
Mercedes-Benz has engineered a stunning new line of performance automobiles for 1986, but none more stunning than this. Introducing the 300e sedan, a bold forward leap in performance technology, creating a new class of performance automobile. The 300e sedan for 1986. Mercedes-Benz widens the gap.
Love this new cereal. What's the name?
It's a harvest. Apples, almonds.
Raisins. No name. Well, of course, it's fruit and,
Post Fruit and Fiber presents new Harvest Medley, another delicious way to forget the fiber. Now 20% more fiber, with a harvest of sweet diced apples, crunchy almonds, and raisins, so all you remember is...
new fruit and...
What's in the name?
Post Fruit and Fiber Harvest Medley cereal. Tastes so good, you forget the fiber.
Another of what is presumed to be a black rebel landmine has exploded in South Africa near its border with Zimbabwe. The toll was high. 6 whites riding in a truck were killed. 4 were children. It was by far the greatest loss of white lives so far this year in the turmoil of South African racial violence. Police for the white minority government in South Africa today banned 2 television crews from entering black townships in the Cape Town area for 3 months. One of the crews works for CBS News, the other for Britain's World Television News. The Soviet Union's day-in, day-out stream of criticism for President Reagan's strategic defense initiative, the so-called Star Wars defense, today took a new turn. The Soviets now are saying what they might do about it. Among other things, Moscow says that it could do this: try to overload the Star Wars defense by overwhelming it with dummy missiles, knock out Star Wars equipment in space with orbiting mines, and special coatings on Soviet missiles so that the killer laser beams that are supposed to zap them are simply reflected back like any other light beam. The Soviets boasted they can render SDI useless junk and do it for 1% of what the USA is spending to build it. Secretary of State George Shultz met today in Budapest with leaders of Hungary. He reportedly encouraged Hungary to pursue its relatively maverick economic independence from the Kremlin. The shops of Budapest are well stocked and the streets crowded with Christmas shoppers, a rare sight in any Warsaw Pact country. It's proof of the pudding that Hungary's special economic mix is working to a degree, as we hear from Bert Quint.
The Hungarians get nervous when people call their country the Warsaw Pact paradise. That's because they've had to bend the rules of East Bloc socialism to achieve a relatively high standard of living. They tell their big brothers in Moscow they have no choice. They need trade with the West to survive, and they argue they can't compete with the capitalists without using some capitalist tools, decentralizing the economy, catering to the consumer, introducing the heresy of incentive.
If we don't pay more, who will work more? So I think that at this moment it's very essential to pay more for the higher performance and to pay maybe even less for the bad performance.
The Icarus factory produces buses for the East Bloc. By Western standards, it's primitive, sometimes sloppy work. But a small department turns out buses for the United States for much-needed dollars. There's a different concept here: care and quality. And the worker who makes a bus for Milwaukee earns twice as much as his comrade working on one for Moscow. The trick is to get a socialist state to make money like a capitalist one without anyone noticing. The move toward private enterprise started in the countryside. State farm workers were allowed to raise and sell pigs and poultry at home for personal profit. Cooperatives were formed with shareholders and employees. A ramshackle galvanizing plant brought one such farm extra income. Now it's cultivating a new cash crop: personal computers. The kind of moonlighting and hustle that was illegal 10 years ago is legal and taxable now. Throughout Hungary, there are thousands of small private shops. For those able to cash in on the private economy, new homes and the good life. Others, unskilled workers, civil servants, pensioners, are left behind. Hungary has developed a class system in a supposedly classless society. Its leaders know the Russians don't like it, and they remember what happened when they went too far politically in 1956, the Soviet invasion. So they keep telling Moscow, we have to do this, but don't worry. We're still good socialists. We're working towards pure communism. We just can't afford it now. Bert Quint, CBS News, Budapest.
When the pain in my fingers starts, it stops me from doing what I love. I used to take aspirin for minor arthritis pain. Today, I take Advil. Advil contains a non-prescription strength of ibuprofen, the medicine in the prescription brand Motrin. Just one Advil is as effective as 2 regular aspirin. That's important. Advil keeps me playing for hours, and Advil didn't upset my stomach. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Like I told Santa, I've been very good. So when Mom got cakes and pies at Baskin-Robbins, I got these 101 Dalmatian stickers free.
Life's a whole lot sweeter with 31.
Need help?
Yeah, and I've got 10 minutes to get to the radio station.
Here's the problem.
Stetson cologne. Easy to wear, hard to resist.
And for that great smelling guy who started my car, I get off at 6.
Seiko turns black into brilliance with an alarm in an elegant dress watch. The track bracelet watch
linked with gold tone, ultra thin, ultra rich. Gleaming border lines for the dual display watch. And the sleek, bold look of the first analog quartz chronograph, now in titanium. Man invented time. Seiko perfected it.
Every dog has his day, but this was one royal occasion for Oscar, a 2-year-old Springer Spaniel and wonder dog of the dope set. Oscar's job is to sniff out illegal drugs at London's Heathrow, the world's busiest international airport. And the Princess of Wales was among those present as Oscar, with dogged determination, demonstrated his drug detection technique. Philip Hayton of the BBC picks up the trail.
As a test, they set him loose in the cargo shed to find 50 grams of hidden heroin. The princess hardly had time to hear the rules of the game before Oscar was hot on the trail. Time, but this one clearly impressed. Until the end, she was all eyes for Oscar.
How did he do? Very well. is this the game that he's rewarded with?
Yeah, this is like a stick for a dog. This is the stick.
Case closed. Also closed, the CBS Evening News for this Monday. Dan Rather reporting from New York. Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Well, the 4-hour cough medicine didn't last me through the day.
I know, Alan.
The 6-hour didn't last me through the night.
I know, Alan.
Why doesn't somebody invent
A
it?
12-hour cough medicine? Somebody has, Alan.
Introducing 12-Hour Delsum. Only Delsum has a patented timed-release formula that lasts up to 12 hours, for hours more relief than regular cough medicines. Each dose helps you work all day and sleep all night. 12-hour timed-release Delsum for hours more cough relief.
Terrific.
Coffee should please all the senses. To the eye, it should appear rich, not thin. The aroma should capture the taste, intense, as in this dark roasted Nescafe Brava, smooth, subtle, as in this Nescafe Silka. And the taste, that's why only Nescafe custom blends 4 distinctive coffees.
Ultimately, taste is in the eye, nose, and palate of the beholder.
Nescafe, taste your way.
A day in the country. That's something to look forward to. And so is Ford Tempo, the car that shows a lot of forward thinking. Front-wheel drive, precise handling, fuel injection. And Tempo has a design that helps it hold the road. You'll also find Tempo makes the return home again a lot more fun.
Look, there's a baby.
Have you driven the best-built American cars? Have you driven a Ford lately?
You're running the squad now, Sergeant.
Tonight, a promotion creates a crisis for Cagney and Lacey.
I guess I could learn to love this job.
But now you're on some sort of power trip.
This is CBS.
Men and women we mourn today were peacemakers. They were there to protect life.
The president pays his respect to the families of the Fort Campbell soldiers who died on their way home for the holidays. In the Fort Campbell area, people put their lives on hold to share in that sorrow. We'll have those stories, plus a live Satellite 5 report from Dover, Delaware, where the first bodies are arriving from Newfoundland. Next on Eyewitness News. Join us.